Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you today. Um, this is What's New and Coming Up with Lipedema. I'm Gail Straker. I'm the community manager for Lipedema Simplified. And I am here today with my delightful, wonderful colleague and cohort in some crimes, Siobhan Huggins. Hi, Siobhan.
Hello,
Would you like to
I'm
introduce yourself?
I'm Siobhan. I'm the research specialist with the Lipedema Project. I am sometimes delightful by some opinions, apparently.
Yes.
But yeah, I read a bunch of stuff. I think about stuff. Sometimes I talk about it.
Sometimes you talk about it when you get a chance, I know. And speaking of getting a chance to talk about stuff, one of the we're going to talk about some wonderful things that are coming up that are including Siobhan. But before we do that, I just want to welcome everyone here. And if you're watching on the replays, know that we are grateful that you are able to watch the replays and get this later today. So I see Wendy Moramas here. She says, long time no see. It's good to see you too, Wendy. I'm glad you're here. And if you are here, and I know that we have 16 on right now, if you are here, please make sure that you post who you are, where you're from, give a weather report, ask questions,
Tell
um,
us what you eat for breakfast.
whatever you want. Yeah, tell us what you ate for breakfast. How about this, or your brand of compression, or your whatever piece of little tidbit information you want to share. I
A
see
weird talent that you have,
a
maybe. I
weird
always like that one.
challenge. Like this. Anyway, we do have to keep this to a regular time. We can't go over very far today. So I hope I'm not speaking too fast for everybody to hear. But we do have Wendy. She's here. And then I have Shelly. Shelly's from Hilton Head. Welcome, welcome. And I want to say Fractal Beans. She gave me her name last time. Hello, you're welcome. We love doing this. So now I want to kind of go back, and I'm going to make Siobhan talk here in a minute. But she has something that's coming up to this next week. She has a webinar. I'm going to put the name of it, well, not the name of the topic, right here. She's having a free webinar on hanger.
Hanger also,
There
technically.
also. Hunger, satiation, and cravings. It's on September 27th, which is next Wednesday, and it'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to drop into the comments, I'm going to drop the link where you can register for that um, right now. So I'm going to put that in the comments, and just make sure that you get in there and register if you haven't registered already. It's going to be fabulous. So
Yes.
we do have a couple more people I want to greet, and then I'm going to let Siobhan tell us all about her webinar. Gloria's here. Hi, she's in Ogden, Utah, so she's just around the corner of me. And yes, it's been raining today for you because it rained for me early, early, early this morning, and it's made its way over to you. Okay, Fractal Beans. Her name is Elena. Hi, Elena. Elspeth is here from Hamilton Island, Australia. Mara Lee is here from Washington State in the great northwest of USA. And Juanette is here. Hi, Siobhan. Hello, Gal. Hello, Siobhan. It's the end of summer in Alaska. Partly sunny, 47 degrees, and got the puffer coat out this morning. Whoop, whoop. Good news. I can zip it from top to bottom. Way. That's always happy, right? When you get into your coat.
Yeah,
Esther's here.
definitely understand that excitement.
Yeah. Esther's here from sunny Oregon. And we have someone here from Jackson, Tennessee. Just received a pair of crazy compression socks for wide calves. And let's see, Julie Rosa's here. Oh boy, she says
Now,
it's you two.
what do you mean by that? You think we're gonna cause some trouble or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Marilee said that she's knitting away as I listen. I'm jealous. I have not been knitting much recently, and it's showing in terms of my temperament.
Ah, Rosemary Alariaga is here, and she's from Salt Lake City, so she's right over there
Oh.
by our friend who's in Ogden. So anyway, let's talk about what we have going on today, and upcoming in the fall. So Siobhan has a free webinar, and I've already posted it in the comments. It's on hunger, satiation, and cravings. Siobhan, what can you tell us?
So this is something I think a lot about because there are some people like they get on the right eating plan for them and it's like perfect. It's like they don't have to worry about anything. And sometimes that's true up until a point. And then life happens. It's like, oh my God, why is this so difficult? All of this stuff. And I think like a natural inclination, especially when we've been through periods where we don't really trust our body very much, is to push those things away. So things like hunger, things like not being full after meals, things like getting cravings, like, oh, I'm getting a craving for XYZ. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to block it out. I'm not going to think about it. And instead, what I want to talk to people about is a different perspective that's actually treating our body with respect and empathy and kind of approaching it in a way of maybe my body actually does know what it needs. And for me personally, like I always had trouble with the intuitive eating thing because it's like, okay, but I'm hungry all the time. So how is that helpful? Well, part of that is acknowledging why we might have those problems and then trying to address them. So it's not just like follow whatever you're feeling, regardless of the consequences. It's like, okay, I know I want to be here, but there's this issue that's getting in the way of me being able to just, oh, I'm hungry and now I'm going to eat. Oh, I want this thing, now I'm going to eat that. So it's a lot of like idea generating, and I'm really interested in what people are going to connect with and take away from it, because always with this type of stuff people are like, that's me, that part right there is me, and now I know something I can try right now. So I'm really excited for it and to just continue this conversation that we've been having and just hear from people and hopefully get all of us on a good path, because it's not always easy, even when sometimes it isn't. And I think it's really, really important to acknowledge that and just like give yourself the space to say like, okay, I need to pause. I need to kind of evaluate this and figure out what I can do to help.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't seen one of your webinars, in the over since. Well, I've had a tumultuous spring and summer, and
Hmm.
so I haven't been able to, I haven't been able to come to some of them. I mean, doctor's appointments and, uh, of course, vacation, but lots of stuff, and so I wasn't able to go to them. Um, and with with all of that, it feels like I've missed you, and which which is a good thing. And I really look forward to not only seeing you and being part of your in the background of your webinar, but also to hear what you have to say. And really hope, I really hope that there are a lot of people in the audience who will get really good advice and really good idea generation from your web.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing that's been going on is we've just recently had a major press release, and I am putting the press release link in the comments. So after this, if you want to go in there and read about our great news, um, you'll get to. But the news is this: on least on some of our recent things, our webinar last week, and some of our other recent activities, you might have met a lovely lady named Lisa Drury, and she is phenomenal. She is the co-founder of RLD Group, and she's worked in the tech industry. She has a pile. I mean, like, it's so deep of experience and knowledge and accolades. I mean, you name it. Lisa Drury is amazing. Lisa, I met Lisa just over a year ago, um, along with Catherine. We were taking a course together, and Lisa was in that course. And she found out that there was lipedema simplified. And so she came to us. And now she's going to be our new managing director. So I have put in the comments, I have put the link to the press release. So when you get a chance, take a read, and you'll be pretty impressed that we now have Lisa Drury on our team. So we're very excited.
And you may also recognize her from some of the previous events we've done. She's presented at some of them. So that was my first interaction with her, and I was blown away by just what a fantastic presenter that she was and how much she puts into her presentations. It wasn't just like slides like I usually do. It was like pieces of paper and photos from her own personal life and leading us through her journey. So I'm really excited to be able to get to know her better and start working with her.
That's right. Lisa was one of our like patient panel speakers, but she was like a featured patient panel speaker because it was like, this is my journey. And she works with women entrepreneurs and everything. And so we're very excited. She's just marvelous. So make sure that you read that press release if when you get the chance. So Siobhan, we got some stuff happening in October, and I don't have a banner for all of it. But can you kind of give us a run through of what events are going on that we're participating in, and we'll wrap up by talking about the event that we're going to be hosting, that we're actually going to be running.
Yeah, there's multiple that I actually don't remember because there's so much happening in October. I think NLN is that month, and then like Leslyn and Matt are doing something, and then I'm going to Potsdam in Germany. I think, yeah, should be Germany. But what's happening there is the World Lipedema Congress, and so it's a whole bunch of people coming together just to talk about lipedema
Hold
and
on.
up and coming. Oh, I'm not sure if it's you or me, Gail, but one of us is breaking up.
Okay.
Okay, am I back?
I had to remove you from stage. You are back. You are back. So you were waving your arms and talking about that stuff, and we couldn't understand a word you were saying.
Great. I couldn't either, so we're both on the same page. But yeah, so I was talking about Potsdam, which is the World Lipedema Congress. So I'll be presenting 2 posters, and then we have other team members who are also going to be there presenting stuff, talking about stuff. And what's cool is that the authors of a bunch of different papers that I've read on lipedema are going to be there. So I'll get to ask them all sorts of questions. I'll probably be talking all day, every day. So that is very exciting. I apologize for not remembering everything else. Anything involving me is about all I can contain in my head at the moment.
Oh, Siobhan, that's fine. There's no problem with that. We do have, oh, I can't believe it. We do have a lot of stuff going on right now, and you are going to be traveling, and you're getting ready for that. You're working a full-time job. You're you name it, you're doing it, right? So if you can't remember from one day to the next where everybody's going all over Europe this fall, you're forgetting.
Yeah, I know various people are traveling to various places, but yeah, I agree. Juanetta said, super excited to see what comes out of Potsdam. I am too. It's going to be, I'm hoping there's also going to be like patients and stuff there as well because they always provide good insight. I say they as if I'm not one of them. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what kind of conversations are going to be going on. It seems like there's really good people on the team who put it together as well. So I'm hoping lots of productive discussion, lots of brainstorming, lots of geeking out, lots of where do we go next, lots of where have we been, how did we get here, all that type of stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. Juanetta said a half day of patient involvement. That is correct. I'm going to be there for that part as well. So cool. I'm looking forward to the networking on that part.
Oh, that is awesome. And not only that, Siobhan, guess what? It wasn't you that broke up. It was me that broke up, from what Marilee says.
Ah, okay. Well,
Oh,
it must have been me on some part because you kicked me out and brought me back in, and it was fixed.
I
So
did. I removed you. I removed you, and I brought you back. And look what happened. See, I've got power in my fingertips.
yeah, it
Um,
all works out.
so so after you, when you go, when are you going over to Europe?
On the it's early, basically the week after next, early in the week after next. So I'll be traveling to Berlin and then heading over to Potsdam. I'll be there for the Congress, and then my husband will be meeting up since he's in the neighborhood, kind of. We'll be having a Berlin date, which will be nice, and then I'll be heading over to Sweden. So in subsequent Fridays after that, I will be on a different time zone. So
Yeah,
if I seem better, worse,
or worse.
attributed to that, I guess.
You know what though? I'm so happy that you get to go see your husband. Because it's been a few months, and
Yeah, it's been a little while. And he'll be back in the States early next year, I think. So that's all good.
that'll be
And
great.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad
looking forward to the yarn store.
the
What
yarn
was that?
store,
Like 4 years
right?
ago. 4 years ago, yeah.
The yarn store. Anyway, I'm so glad you get to go see Killian. Okay, so at the end of the month, you're going to be in the end of October. You're going to be in Sweden.
Yep.
And not only that, but something's going on with us. We're having our heart to heart event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and several of our community members have been to Heart to Heart. They've attended our Heart to Heart events. And if you have, please in the comments, please tell us like a number one takeaway from a Heart to Heart event. We call it the Heart to Heart because it is no longer a symposium. It's not a bunch of professionals coming in and showing you stuff and then leaving, sending you a pre-recorded message. These are live events. They run about 10 hours a day from beginning to end, starting with a gathering session, like if you were to go to an in-person webinar, you would come in and there would be, early morning registration. You'd grab your cup of coffee or your water or whatever, and you'd go mingle with friends. Or you would go to a pre-event, which might be, a yoga class or a meditation class or something like that.
Man,
To
I wish more events had meditation classes and yoga classes and breathing classes and like all this stuff because whenever I go to conferences, it's like, can we have like a dance session or like a workout session or like something, please?
It's so funny because I go to different types of conferences because I go to my chorus, my Sweet Adeline
Oh,
conferences,
yeah.
and they have a kickoff, they have a gathering where you can all get together. They sing tags in the hallways. So I want everybody to that sort of thing, right?
Perfect. Make that the standard, please. I
I
love
know,
it.
right? So, but yeah, it's really quite amazing because we hold a pre-gathering space before the event starts. Gets everybody in there. Gives you know how you're always waiting for a webinar to start. You're sitting there waiting until they let you in. Well, now you get to come in and you get to join in a breakout room with people who might be doing a Miranda course, or they might
Mm-hmm.
be doing some yoga or meditation, or who knows, a Q&A or whatever. So we hold a pre-event, and then we hold the event, and then we hold a wrap-up quick Q&A thing or session at the end. And so it's about a 10-hour day, 3 days
Mm-hmm.
in a row, right? I mean, this is powerful, fully packed, interactive event. And Leslyn came up with this like, well, it's like we're holding a conversation from one heart to another heart. And it became heart to heart. And
Mm-hmm.
we're excited. This is going to be our third that have that title of a heart to heart. We decided to keep the title and make it our biannual event. So Juanetta says lots of wisdom and good life hacks at heart to heart. Um, and then Julie says heart to heart rocks. Yeah, it
Indeed.
sure does. Now, we were talking about, having pre-events or after events and things like that. And Juanetta says that, like Toastmasters, they have a sing-along every night at the international conference. And it's amazing when you have those gatherings and those courses and things like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, now I want to move on because, and I did put that in the comments. Oh, Gail, don't do
Oh,
that. I'm in the comments. Yes, I put the
you
heart to
did.
heart
Yes.
registration in the comments. Okay, so that's at the end of the month, 27th, 28th, and 29th. Now we've made ourselves a deal that we're gonna close early. No, we're gonna close on time or shortly late, I guess is what it is. And we are going to give every time we talk, we're not just gonna tell you like, here, come to this event, come to this event, come to this event. So we decided that we're going to give you a tip or a trick or something exciting, right? To check in with. And Siobhan went clothes shopping, kind of.
Imagine that, kind of. Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw a recommendation on one of the Lipedema Facebook groups, and they had a recommendation for some pants on Amazon. And I went to Amazon and I bought them. That was the extent of my clothes shopping. But I think they're super cool. They are, oh, they're not one size fits all. I thought they were. Okay, so that's even better. So they do come in multiple different sizes, and what they are, they're the Amazon Essentials women's cozy knit, oversized, pleated, wide leg pant. So they are super soft. They're super stretchy, so I can even show you.
Yeah, you stand up there on your chair so we
Yeah.
can
So
see.
you can see the waist, super stretchy, like it stretches out twice the length, and even like the leg fabric, super stretchy. I think they'd be super flattering. And the cool thing is because it's the stretchy waist and then the wide leg, it tends to be really flattering if you have a smaller waist and then larger legs, like I do, or even like more proportional, but you're just looking for the roominess in the legs. I really like them. I just got them today. I immediately put them on. The fabric is super soft. Gail made a good point that they would be good to wear with compression because you have the extra room, so it's not like constantly rubbing back and forth on the compression. And I think more fashion discussion is good
Wait,
because you could turn this into so many different like cute outfits that have you feeling good and comfy and confident. I like that.
okay, will you stand up on your chair one more time now that you got settled back on it?
Yeah, as soon as I settle back down.
I couldn't believe it when you stood up on your chair before we.
Yeah,
Okay, so do you see? So they've got the pleated waist. They've got the look at
yeah.
those. Look at all
They've
that
got
room
pleats,
in the
super
leg.
stretchy. They're gonna be super comfortable, like walking around town or just like lounging around in the home office. They look pretty professional too. So even if I'm at like conferences or stuff like that, I could wear them. And I think like paired with like a tighter shirt and then like a cardigan, I could totally rock it. Or like a
Yeah,
blouse would be really nice.
and I'm
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, especially those of us who those of us who do have a little bit of a waist, right?
Hmm.
And we like a little bit of a snugger hip. I mean, for goodness sakes, we've got lipedema legs, right? At least,
Hmm.
um, and everything. Now what we need is a little like tuck in at the waist a bit, to give
Yeah,
us
to emphasize like the parts you feel confident about, emphasize those parts, and
right.
then de-emphasize the parts you don't feel as confident about, and then like your overall confidence goes up.
Oh, it
And it can
does.
be just like little things.
A sparkly camisole with a little sweater over the top of it. What do you call them? A bolero, big puffy
Hmm.
sleeve sweater or something. That would look
Yeah,
really cute, and you could do fun colors. Do they come in a lot of colors?
they're mostly grays, but because they're mostly in neutrals, yeah, they have like a light gray, medium gray, dark gray. You could pair it with any color that you want because it's going to go with everything.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I just bought some pants. They're called bay leaf sports capris, but they actually had one in plus sizes, and
Ah.
which usually doesn't happen. I got the 2X, and I think they went up to 5X. But
Hmm.
what I like, but it's not going to be capri weather for very long. I'm wearing them, and I'm not going to stand up on my bed and show you right now. But, the lighter color pants I got, the more uncomfortable I felt because I bought 3 pair. There's a dark
Hmm.
gray and a black, and I got the light gray ones, and all of a sudden, I was very uncomfortable. So I thought about it. I thought, "Why am I uncomfortable in a pair of light gray pants?" And I realized that it's because in the light gray pants, I see my legs. The
Ah.
dark gray pants and the black pants, I don't see them.
Hmm.
They're invisible,
Yeah,
right?
camouflage.
They're just known that my brain doesn't catch it. I'm not used to wearing light colored pants. And so
Hmm.
with the darker colors, my brain's going, "Oh, Gail doesn't have legs." But when I put my light gray pants on, it was like, Gail's got legs. And you know what I did? I returned those light gray pants. It was
Hmm.
so stressful because they
Yeah,
all
and
just
that's the thing. Like sometimes we need little baby steps, like little baby steps. Sometimes things are too big of a step, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that and say, "I tried it. I'm not there yet. Maybe I never will be." That's perfectly okay.
right. And I just wasn't there yet. Now, I have worn like red and I'm good. But there was something about the light color. It was just like, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I can see my legs. They're there." You know? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
and
the most wild feeling in the world. A little darker, I was fine. Crazy.
yeah, and Juanetta made a good point. She said, I got some new jeans in light wash, wore yesterday without compression. All the lumps and bumps were at attention and on display. I definitely relate to that because it's like with the lighter colors, I think what happens is you can see the shadows easier. So if it's clingy even a little bit,
Oh,
you
yeah,
see all of it. It's like with the darker colors, the shadows are hidden in the darker color. So it can be
right.
easier for it to just
You
be a little bit of like a smoothing effect.
and then this is another one that I'm gonna pull up. Page says, "The pant tug with compression is miserable." Oh,
Hmm.
no. Especially if it's
Especially if you have any sensory issues at all. Like, and sometimes what'll happen is pants will fit okay, and then like it'll be really hot and I'll swell. And then it's like clinging onto my calf, and I can feel it when I'm walking. It drives me nuts, which is why I like the wider legs. So I've got some in linen, I've got these. And then that can't happen because there's so much space around my legs. Like, no
right.
matter how much I swell, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And I know for me that, I I've tried wearing my compression underneath jeans. I've tried wearing my compression underneath every single thing. And yeah, no.
Yeah. At this point, I've just finally accepted, like, if I'm going to wear compression and it's because I'm particularly swollen, it either has to be wide leg pants or shorts. And I'm like, for the sake of my own comfort, I often opt for shorts because it's the compression underneath and then the shorts on top. So my legs are actually completely covered.
Right.
And I like the cellulite leggings if I only need a little bit of compression because they're like bright purple, bright blue. And I find that really fun. But with like jeans and stuff, like I will do it, but it's got to be in like specific circumstances or it's kind of
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, I hear you. So we're gonna pull one more question up, and Siobhan, this one is from you, and then after that we're gonna scoot along. Because
Yes. So
I have a question for Siobhan about how hormone imbalances may be an underlying cause to lipedema, and if there are studies that she can read.
So I'm actually a little bit bad on this point because I haven't looked super into hormones in depth, mainly because I find them really confusing. Um, the main thing I've seen with hormone imbalances are talking about like PCOS. And that makes sense because PCOS is often intimately tied with things like insulin resistance. You have poor metabolic health that can impact a whole skew of things, including weight gain, among other things. And then in males with lipedema, typically what they find is that they have hormonal imbalances, so low testosterone and high estrogen. I've talked about the hormone part a little bit, and mainly I talked about two different sides of it. One aspect is with healthy levels of female hormones during puberty, pregnancy. It may be influencing things like how connective tissue is formed, because women tend to have weaker connective tissue on average. And that makes sense because we do need looser connective tissue for things like pregnancy. Like you got to make room for a whole human in there. So joints get loosened and stuff like that. And then also in terms of how we grow fat. So that's a whole huge topic, but it may basically increase the burden on the connective tissue surrounding fat potentially, is kind of how I've thought about it. But those are kind of the two things I've mainly focused on. I'm trying to think of who would know the most. I think it's a big, like, hormones are complicated. Hopefully, I'll have a better answer on resources after the World Lipedema Congress, though, because I will be keeping an eye out for like resources in areas that I'm weaker on, so I can look further into them and get a better grasp. Because some things are like so far outside of what I typically look at, and it's like I need help. I need help.
Well, send help. Yeah, and it's like Elena said, she just came upon a study um, about the relationship between progesterone processing and lipedema.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. There are a couple of studies just talking about the possible influence. So, estrogen as a contributing factor to the development of lipedema is one I've seen before. And then lipedema and the potential role of estrogen. So there are a couple different ones. If you just like go on Google and look lipedema, estrogen, or lipedema hormones, some studies will come up. And then if you read them and you can understand them better, please let me know because I'm always happy to learn from other people.
Yeah, I agree, and it's like, and she also says that she appreciates how she's trying to understand the connection potentially with birth control as well. Yeah, and those are
Yeah.
some valid issues, some valid concerns, because we really do need to know what we're doing with all this, right? So,
Hmm.
Siobhan, you have an email address. Yes, let me post that email address on the banner. Um, I know I had it up there the other day. I'll find you, Siobhan.
Yeah. And just a warning that I do tend to be pretty slow with email because I'm juggling like 20 different things. So if I don't respond right away, please don't don't be hurt or take it personally or anything like that. It's a me problem.
Okay, and then we have someone who said that they weren't aware of the cellulite leggings. So if you
Yeah,
take a if you take a look on Amazon for cellulite leggings by CZ
CZ
Zalis,
Salis, yeah.
you
It's
will find,
very, very, very light compression. I'll say that, but sometimes I don't need a whole lot of compression anyway. Or sometimes I'll layer them over like the grade one compression, so it's like a 1.5 if I don't quite need the higher grade stuff yet. So it is worth looking at to see if it'll work for you. Usually it's what I use if it's like I know I need to wear compression, but I don't want to. So it's like, well, this is better than nothing. It's pretty much my logic.
yeah, and CZ Zalis has several different weights. You can find them on Amazon, or you can order directly from. Once you find the size that you like, you can go right to their website and order them that way
Mm-hmm.
as well. They're about the same price. The what I love about them is that they come in so many colors. They'll say something about cellulite, lightweight, da da da, with silver, or it has like with massaging, weave or something. You'll have all this stuff, but it's basically their cellulite um, weight. So it's a lighter weight,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that for me, I had to order a size up on those as compared to the other the what they call their summer weight, um,
Mm-hmm.
and and they are shorter. Now, I know for some people that is actually a plus, but so yeah, you. So I could not, because I'm 5'9", I could not get the end of the leg to stay at my midfoot when I'm
Mm.
walking and stuff. It actually pops up onto my heel and onto.
Yeah, and usually what I do with the cellulite leggings, if I'm wearing them, I just wear them at the ankle, and then I'll layer compression socks, like ankle length compression socks over them. And so that way I'm getting compression from my toes all the way up to the waist.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually want it cutting off at the ankle personally.
Yeah. And so, when you do if you do buy something an over the counter compression, really make sure that it is fitting you well. um,
Mm-hmm.
without tugging on it all the time, without it ending up in creases behind the knees and all those things. So that's one of the reasons I do go through Amazon, because the return policy is really easy. And so I can buy several sizes, and I can just buy them until I find the one that fits, and then use that one over and over again. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, audience members of all walks of life, we're so glad we're here with you today. But with that being said, we are going to have to sign off. I am the one who usually run, and I run Tuesday nights too, so I'm always going to ask Siobhan a final question. So, Siobhan, if there was one message you wanted to echo around the world, what would it be?
Um, Make sure if it doesn't come naturally to you, you schedule in breaks and de-stressing, including hobbies, because it is so easy when things get stressful to put them to the side. I say this because I do it all the time, and it actually makes things worse. So if you can schedule in even like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, something to do like Zentangle or knitting, or just something that helps you decompress, put you in that meditative state, do it, because it really does help and make a difference. And I'm telling myself this at the same time so I can get back to doing that.
And I want to tell you, Siobhan, thank you, because I have to go pick up my crochet right now. Um, and I want to see those. I want to see those needles clacking. I want to see those socks done that you're working on. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, do take time. Make sure you do take time to take those tiny little breaks that gives you a chance to take a breath. It helps you become more resilient,
Mm-hmm.
and and it lets you enjoy life just that much better. So with that, from my heart and Siobhan's heart to your heart. Hey, heart to heart. We shall see. This is